Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. I hope all of you are fine and doing well. So the topic that we will discuss today it is the removal of the temporary hardness. So as we have already learned, the temporary hardness is because of the two reasons. The first one is it is due to the bicarbonates or HCO3 negative 2 of the calcium, and the second thing it is because of the bicarbonates of the magnesium. When these two metals making up their bicarbonates, in turn they will cause the temporary hardness. Now here we have basically two methods for the removal of the temporary hardness. The first one method is simple known as by boiling the water we will remove the temporary hardness, and the second method is named as the Clark's method. And the Clark's method is also used to remove the temporary hardness of the water. So let's discuss that detail. The first one method is by boiling. Now what we have to do the boiling, basically the temporary hardness can be removed by the boiling process, in which when we started to boil the water, it contains calcium bicarbonate. When we are going to provide the heat, it just simple decomposes into three substances. The number one, it makes the calcium carbonate. Now this calcium carbonate is basically insoluble. It makes the water and it makes the carbon dioxide. So as these calcium carbonates are insoluble and they will be precipitated out from the solutions. When we get the precipitates of the insoluble calcium carbonate, then these precipitates can be simply removed by the process of the filtration, and in turn the water we get, it will be converted into the soft water. Now that soft water is not having any type of the carbonates, bicarbonates, or the sulfates and the chlorides. So the simple method for the removal of the temporary hardness is the boiling, because it is the reverse of the reaction. Because when the water is making up the hard, it is the simple calcium carbonate. Due to the presence of the water and the carbon dioxide, it is converted into the bicarbonates of the calcium, so making up the hard water. But in turn, when we started to boil or we provide the heat to the water, they are converted into the insoluble substances, and in this way the hardness of the water can be easily removed. Next, the second method we have, it is the Clark's method. What we have to do in the Clark's method, basically it is known as the chemical method. It is a chemical method. What we have to do in the chemical method, it is used to remove the temporary hardness. The simple, we have to add the slaked lime. The substance is known as the slaked lime. Its formula we have calcium hydroxide CaOH whole twice. This is known as the slaked lime. So a calculated amount of calcium hydroxide is added up in the water. That water is having temporary hardness. When we add that substance, the reaction takes place. So this is the calcium hydroxide or the slaked lime. When adds up in the water which is having magnesium bicarbonate, this magnesium carbonate bicarbonate, it is soluble in water. Now it converts into the two products, which is magnesium carbonate and the calcium carbonate. Now these two are insoluble in water. As they are insoluble in water, along with the production of the water molecules, so they will be precipitated out and then can be removed and making the water as a soft substance. On the other hand, if we have the bicarbonates of the calcium, its formula is CaHCO3 whole twice. plus adding the slaked lime or the calcium hydroxide. Its second name we have calcium hydroxide. So it makes two products by producing calcium carbonate. Now this calcium carbonate is insoluble in water and also the production of the water molecule. Now these insoluble products can be precipitated out and can be removed by the simple process of filtration. And now the water that we gain, it is the simple soft water because it is not having any type of the calcium and the magnesium substances in it. So this was the simple two methods by which we can easily remove the hardness of the water, because if we are going to use the hard water, it is not producing the good leather with the soap, and in turn it is also not good for the health of the human organism because it is having soluble bicarbonates. So this was all about today's lecture. I hope you guys understand, and if you have any queries you may ask me about that in the comment section, and I will get back to you guys soon. The next topic that we will discuss, it is the simple removal of the permanent hardness of the water. So the permanent hardness of water can be removed by the two methods. The simple first one is use of the washing soda, and the second is the ion exchange method. So we can use both these methods for the removal of that type of hardness, and that type of hardness is also difficult to remove because it is just looking like as the permanent hardness. So for that time, you guys keep learning and have a good day.